Stefanos, this was your first match you had on grass this year, and I know that France has been able to play a lot of tournaments on grass already. I'm just curious how much you think that was a factor, or what else you think might have been a difference maker in this one today.
For sure, lack of matches was crucial today. I kind of started feeling my game a bit better towards the end of the third set, middle of the third set. I felt my strokes better. I felt like I was able to apply more pressure and feel the court better. You know, I obviously didn't want it to be like this, and to get to that point where I I'm completely out of control. But fair to say that he played really well. I wasn't able to maintain the intensity. I wasn't able to put something better than him, and it ended up going his way.
On your scheduling, did you ever think about taking maybe a wild card into one of the Eastbourne or something like that after you had your long French Open run, or what was the thought there?
Me personally, yeah, I was thinking maybe I should have played the week before Wimbledon. Either Mallorca or Eastbourne, I'm not sure. But any of these tournaments would have helped for sure get me in a better shape and get my tennis ready for the grass court season.
Okay, as I said, please raise your yellow Zoom hand if you'd like to ask a question.
One more if there's no one else.
Go ahead, Ben.
What particularly do you think Francis did well today? What was making him so good out there?
He was very precise with his serves. I think he was able to serve equally well, both on tee and wide. He didn't make a lot of unforced errors, I think, and those unforced errors came in moments where, there wasn't really high pressure for him. He was coming in. I was staying back. That obviously helped him enormously to get a lead, psychological lead, and give him that win. It was enough. Serving well coming in. I was a bit more passive. Didn't approach my game with the same strategy.
Okay, we go to Kate Battersby.
Stefanos, Kate Battersby, Wimbledon.com. In your pre-tournament press conference, you spoke about the loss to Thomas Fabiano here 2 years ago, and you said one of the reasons you said for that was that you had no plan B or C. Did you have a plan B or C today? Was that a factor?
I was, and it could have worked actually, but it was too late. It could have worked. I also missed on other things that I later discovered could have helped me. And it was kind of late, when you're 2 sets to love down, especially on grass, everything is measured up to details. Everything is in the details. It's not like clay where, you're 2 sets to love down. It's kind of a different rhythm, a different pace. Precision is not the most important thing. You can fight your way out of it. But I just wish, the match would have started at the third set, but of course it was too late, and it's also my blame that I wasn't able to come up with something and discover the things that I did later on in that match.
Okay, we'll go to Matt Futterman.
I'm curious what your thoughts are about the Olympics. Is that still something that's on your schedule? Obviously, a lot up in the air with that event in terms of what's going to be required of athletes. But is that something you're still targeting?
For sure.
Okay, we go to Nenad Zivanovsky.
Hi, Stefanos, Nenad Zivanovsky, MacFax. About your feeling now, do you have similar doubt in your mind like on the previous Wimbledon when you lost in the first round? I mentioned yesterday that you said in the last Wimbledon that you ask yourself about your future career. What about now?
Look, there have been times that I was much more motivated than this, but that's not a reason for me not to play well. Again, I would like to pinpoint and say that I have all the qualities and the game to play on grass. I haven't had a lot of matches on grass. The transition from clay to grass, in my opinion, is probably the most difficult one, if not the biggest challenge in our sport. And I just wasn't able to adapt. I wasn't able to figure these things out early in the match. It took me a while. It took me a long time to start adapting, start thinking a different way. You just cannot be defensive on grass. It's it takes away so much from your game, and I honestly feel if I could have worked a bit more, if I could have played a bit more on that surface, I'm pretty confident I would have done better.
Okay, we have time for one more question. We're going to go to Alan Baldwin.
Yeah, if I could just follow up to what you said before about, you said there have been times when you were more motivated than today. Could you just explain why you were perhaps less motivated, or there was perhaps a lack of the previous motivation this afternoon?
Look, the conditions are the same for each single player. The bubble makes it really tiring week by week, and tell me if it's something surprising, but I feel everyone knows that already. And it's certainly very difficult when you go from one bubble, when you know mentally you're going to go from one bubble, being that bubble 2.5 weeks, maybe even more than that, almost like close to a month, to be honest. And just like 2 weeks later, you have to undergo the same procedure and the same thing again, and it's just not easy. It's a challenge on its own already. But let's not take away from. I don't want to put emphasis to that too much. We had a match today. Had my opportunities. An opponent that played much better, significantly better than me. I just, there wasn't the drive that I was hoping for. There wasn't that same fighting spirit that I usually put out on the court. But of course, I would like to see a different me next time. There's always a next time. That's